Okay guys, I know I said I wasn't really planning on doing an October garden tour, but it looks so beautiful with all the trees in the back right now. I have to. There's no way to not do this. So, what's going on? Not a lot. I ripped up the smaller rock path that had been right here because as you guys saw, it got way too weedy in the summer just because the rocks were too small. I started stacking them. I think that looks really nice, and I think I'm going to continue finding rocks to cover these little crescent pavers. The crescent pavers are useful, but they kind of break up the look of the garden. So those will go, and I'm doing the same thing with stacking the rocks over on this side. I needed to add more mulch in these beds for the fall, and the easiest way is to make the sides higher. So I basically am building little raised beds, and I'll keep probably raising them every year or as I get enough rocks to do it. I still have gorgeous flowers blooming, so I'm definitely I'll still have an October flower video because I've got lots of dahlias and some other stuff still. The carrots, I think I'm going to pull these out later today actually, after I'm done with this video, because I need to plant all of my garlic. So I will pull the carrots. Let me see if I can get one. Oh, what the heck? What the heck is this? Okay, well, he went crazy. I might just feed this guy to the horses because I don't know that I want to eat that. It's been chewed on and it split. But my carrots were a lot smaller this year than they were last year. And honestly, it's just because I did not go through and thin them as well as I should have. And then it just got too weedy. I was a bad gardener this year. Oh, hi chickens. Look at the girls love the backyard. This one's getting a little bleached by the cold, but it's pretty. Sweet peas are still growing. I've been collecting seeds from these. Here's my second carrot patch, which is where the garlic from last year had been. It's doing good. It's spaced out. I mean, what germinated anyways is doing good because they're spaced out way farther apart, and now that it's cooler, they're not really having to fight weeds. So it just worked out nicely in general. My peppers are almost completely done. I have a few on this plant, and there's one in here ripening. And then I know I have some jalapenos somewhere in here, but they're pretty much done. Still picking lots and lots of raspberries, and I'm not having issues with bugs in them like I do in the spring, so tasty bug-free snack. Still collecting ground cherries. I haven't really done much with the kale, but honestly, I kind of grow the kale more for the chickens than anything else. I mean, this plant is huge and beautiful, but I'll end up freezing a lot of this and using it for the chickens to have a nice green snack over winter. And I do dehydrate and powder some to put in smoothies and stuff for the kids and I, but not completely. Those are my mulberry trees. They'll get moved next year. These big dahlias, oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous and huge. I'm in love. I should probably cut some and bring them inside. The tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes are still going. Almost all the bigger ones are done for. I pulled out most of the plants. I haven't been harvesting any to take them inside because at this point, if they fall on the ground and something else eats them, I don't care. The kids and I do come out and still snack on them a little bit, but yeah, see, it's just a mess of tomatoes out here. still have some zinnias blooming. Just kind of waiting for these all to go to seed so I can collect and have, hopefully, a bunch of seeds next year. Still waiting on a handful of beans to finish drying out so that I could bring them in. They're taking a little longer than I expected. Okay, look at this color. You see that? You see that golden beautifulness? I can't. It's too much. I hate fall, but that's gorgeous. Oh, Cosmo's doing good. I'm trying to let these guys go to seed too. I've never collected seed from Cosmos before, so I don't know. This one might be ready. And of course, I have more dahlias over here. I finally got in a bunch of paper bags that I will be using to put all of my bulbs from my gladiolas and dahlias to store them for the winter. I've been gathering more rocks from the wilderness, just throwing them in here. The okra, I was going to have another harvest of it, but then something came through and chewed on all of it. So no more okra for me. I do still have a few crookneck squash growing, so that's exciting. And over here, you saw the potatoes all are up. I pulled up the cantaloupes and the watermelon, and we've been eating them, and they were actually really, really good. Very sweet. Not as many as I was hoping, but it is what it is. The sunflowers, some of them I'm leaving for the birds and squirrels and stuff to eat the seeds, but I plucked a few of each type and brought them inside to save the seeds for next year. Here's more Cosmos. I love how giant this one is. I think it just had a better spot, but it's so pretty. And we're still collecting ground cherries. Oh, I did harvest my 2 acorn squash. I guess I should probably pull the vines. They were good. They were teeny tiny, but we cooked them up with some maple syrup and butter in the oven. Look at, I just have random tomatoes hanging out still. And then in here is my one misshapen pumpkin. We did end up buying some pumpkins. Costco actually, shockingly, has really big pumpkins for like $5. So that's where we got our pumpkins this year. We would have supported, you know, like a family farm, but a lot of them aren't open right now because of all this crap going on. And then their pumpkins are really expensive. So it's kind of hard to be like, I'm going to spend $20 on your pumpkin that's smaller than what I can get at Costco for $5. So I know it's bad, but stuff's expensive. There's more dahlias. I just love them. My little lavender patch. I hope that one survives. But yeah, that's the October garden tour. It's not super exciting, but like I said, I just could not pass up doing a little garden tour with those beautiful orange colors in the background. Okay, one thing I almost forgot to show you guys is the asparagus patch. Look at what I've done to it. It's amazing. It's not all weeds anymore. So, originally it ended right about here. And then back here was beans. The beans were done for the year, so I ripped them out. And then I have been saying that I need a path between the asparagus so that it's easier to weed and manage next year. So I dug up everything that was in this path space and took it out into the extended area where the beans were. And that is where the asparagus is now. And then I've mulched it out in, and it looks fabulous. And the asparagus is happy, you know, just in time for it to die back for the year. But I was just sitting out here working on other stuff, and I was like, I knew I had plans to redo this in the spring, And I was like, I do not want to let it go to bed for the year looking like it does, and then have to start off next year with it being so rough again, because that really, I think, was a big contributing factor to me letting the garden get so weedy. Is I'd look at this big patch and it was just terrible, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to deal with it. So hopefully this will be the key to kind of keeping things a little more under control next year, at least in this area, which will be nice because it's one of the first things you see when you step into the garden, and it's not cute when it's 3 feet of weeds, so this should be a big improvement. Alright, I have just finished harvesting carrots, and because this is the bed the garlic is going to go in, I just wanted to show it since I'm not doing a carrot harvest video. This is what I ended up with for carrots. It's a decent sized bowl. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this for how much I neglected the carrot bed this year. But so now the plans are, one, I'm going to add a pathway right there because I would like to have paths all the way around the strawberry beds. And then I'm going to use my little push-pull hoe that looks like a triangle, like an open triangle basically, and get all of the weeds scraped out in here. I might bring in some mulch, and then I will be planting the garlic bulbs, and I will show you guys how I do that. You want to know the trick to get the horses to look your direction? You dangle the carrot. They're like, give me that carrot. Here, Katie. Here, Abby. Got it? You got it? Bite it. It's not my finger, I promise. You need me to help you? There she goes. Good girl. Is that yummy? So, everybody gets to enjoy stuff from the garden. The dogs actually ate some of the watermelon yesterday with the kids, so that was funny. The kids didn't think it was funny, but I did. So, thank you for watching the October garden tour, and I will see you guys next time. Is that yummy, Katie?